Hey fellas, Frankie Day here. Okay guys, it's Sunday afternoon, and right now this is a unprecedented video that I got going on, and probably some of you fellas probably seen it in the Facebook. I'm getting involved in Facebook now, so I'm starting to post a lot of stuff in there as I go along. So I did a little soul searching. And I said, Frankie, to finish up some of these builds you got started already, instead of going in the closet, grabbing more out, and building more and have more done. So I did a little inspection. I walked around. I got about 3 or 4 models that need to be finished real quick. I need to have them done, which are almost finished. I'll do just a little here and there to get them finished up. And I ordered some turnbuckles and some blocks for my Billings Danish training ship Denmark, and I'm going to be hopping on my Charles Morgan whale ship. Y'all can remember back then of last year about this time. And I need to jump on the Alabama, so I'm going to start getting these unfinished builds going and bring something else to work on too. And incidentally fellas, tomorrow I should have the Gulf Hawk done tomorrow. I haven't done nothing on it other than prime and ready for its finished painting and decaling. So right here I got a special treat for you right here. I said, what the heck, Frank, once you start getting some of this stuff done, and you don't, it's going to become a waste, and so I want to get a lot of this stuff finished. So right here guys, this is a timaya kit I got, oh, I don't know, 25-30 years ago, of the DKM BISMARCK 1/350 scale. And this is a very, very good kit, guys. You know, I had a good time building it. And when I first got the kit, as far as I got was just getting the hull all painted up, and deck and a lot of superstructures, sub-assemblies were finished. And so I spent about 4 days off and on working on this. So I spent pretty much, oh God, let's see, about 15 hours I put on today. And I finally got this thing finished. And so tomorrow I'm going to go down to the Hobby Lobby and get me a baseboard like that of my Alabama, Princeton, also my California. And I'm going to mount this on the pedestal. So this thing's got pedestals underneath the hull. You'll see it as I bring the camera up to it for the review. So the topic of tonight's video, fellas, is called finishing up my builds, the Bismarck. And so I got it all done. All she's ready now to be mounted on her permanent display of wood. So I'll get that tomorrow and it should be all done, and I can jump on to the next one. And the next one tomorrow is going to be I'll get the Gulf Hawk all done. I should get the start on the California right after this video, get her all painted up and everything. And I'll probably bring something else out and make a review of that too. So fellas, with this retirement right now I'm going through right now is giving me more time I can handle. And believe me, it's I'm really having a good time on my retirement building all these models I have. And that's the reason why I have such a large stash pile, because it's all been planned since boyhood. The more models I can accumulate and don't build, it'll be a lot better for me when I won't be able to work no more and enjoy my retirement. So all these builds I have in my stash are primarily mostly just retirement builds. Okay guys, right here is the Bismarck, the scale of 1/350 scale, Operation Rhine. The Bismarck, before we get started, I think a lot of you gentlemen out there know a lot about the Bismarck. Let me give you a history lesson on it. To my point of view, I think she was the most beautiful and glamorous battleship ever built. Miles better than what we had, and certainly more advanced. As America, as we are today, we are a sleeping giant. We sit on our dust, do nothing, wait for something to happen, and it's too late. Then you gotta start building and doing this and doing that to catch up. So far, the Empire of Japan and Adolf Hitler, they broke the Washington Treaty rules. Is that no more so much tonnage and so many battleships? They lied. So Adolf Hitler, he had two glorious battleships. Actually, they were twin battleships, twin sisters, the Tirpitz and the Bismarck. And of course, we know on May 27th of 1940, the Bismarck was sunk. There was a controversy over sinking. Either she was scuttled or she was torpedoed by a Dortcher. And my personal view, I think a little bit of both had something to do with it. And Admiral Lutyens was, they called him the man with the iron mask. He was not very well loved by ship's company, even by the captain. This man had a steel face. He was a gun-ho Third Reich fanatic. And stupidly, he put the Bismarck in harm's way. He wouldn't send her back to Germany or to France for repairs after being damaged. He wanted to keep her going. So incomplacency in this part caused a lot of crew members to get being killed and losing a beautiful battleship in the process. The Bismarck had 15-inch guns. And the armor-piercing shells it had they had about 15-mile range. They could be shot. I got 250,000 pounds. They were each shell was. And the tonnage of the Bismarck is around 50,000 tons. 5,000 tons more greater than that than the Olympic class liners that ocean liners that White Star made. The Britannic, Titanic, and also the Olympic. And she was 162 meters long, a mere 30 feet shorter than the RMS Titanic. She had a very short freeboard, which means top of the deck to the boot topping of the waterline. So therefore she had a very good advantage of her foes. Okay, fellas, I know this camera is very friendly. I know I am. So swing around and take a look at the Bismarck. Like I say, fellas, this is an unprecedented video, so it's kind of like a builds of the past, but finishing up. All the one tube of glue. Okay, guys. There she is right there. I've got all the rigging done on it. The rigging was done with fuse wire. I used the weathering on this, on the Bismarck, I was a little subtle on it. I don't want to overdo it because she was a brand new ship, folks. And this was her maiden voyage. And during her maiden voyage, she was really not that much use on her, other than emerged in the salt water. And these ships, they rust up pretty fast, fellas. And it don't take much for the Grand Ocean to put a hoodoo on a ship, you know, because they accumulate a lot of rust. And a lot of damage too. The salt water and the wind being out the elements cause lots of damage on a ship. A lot of people don't realize that, but it does. And so mostly what the crews can do is just keep repairing and keep fixing this and that to keep the deck division and also the gunner's mates busy. And when they go in for yard period, they go there and get it all cleaned up and do some painting. Okay, guys, this is probably one of the first precision scale 1/350 scale ship models done by Timaya. I think I bought this back in 1979. I bought this at Archer's Hobby World. And a lot of the old timers out there, along with me, pretty familiar with Archer's Hobby World. They're the world's first mail order house. And I used to get Scale Model magazine, and they always had their ads in there. And I got a hold of Bob Archer and ordered this when I was in the Navy. And I got it, and I worked on it. I started working on it off and on since 1979. Finally got it finished. It's minus seeing a photo witch reeling set. At the time, there was no such animal. But right now, it's out of the box like the way she is. And the way I'll build it, so I'm not much of a photo witch, fellas. If it's there, I'll use it. If not, don't. So be it. So, anyway, guys, you can see the swastikas on the aft portion of the hull. and also the forward part of the hull too. Now, what I did on the swastikas, I'll be masking after painting this deck, this ocean gray here in the front here on top of the forecastle deck. I put a masking there. I'm using decal papers cut the way they made my swastikas. They're optional. Sometimes this was red right here with the white ring and the swastika. But during Operation Rhine, they got away from the red, changed it to ocean gray with a white circle and the swastika. The weathering on this thing is very subtle. Excuse me, guys. I don't want to get a mug shot right there. We'll get a little closer here. And you can see the details in this thing. Like I said in the beginning of the video, the weathering is very subtle. I don't want to get overboard on it, because I don't think the weathering is really that overboard on this thing. Shit lived long enough to be all rusted and all weathered out like my battleship Alabama. You can see an old swastika aft. Right over here, fella. Oops, I got that camera right there. I don't want to move it too much. Right about here where the Fuhrer stood. That was his last place where he was known standing right there when he was visiting the ship. And she was a very beautiful ship, guys. The Bismarck was a one-of-a-kind of a ship. The Germans, they built very beautiful ships. The German engineering is very precise, and they're very meticulous. And I'll tell you one thing, they make the best things, and they always made good aircraft and good ships. There's nothing what they had would founder. And they had a very beautiful fleet. They had the Grossspee, they had the Schwanhorst, the Prinz Eugen, the Tirpitz, and they also had a Graf Zeppelin, which was the first German aircraft carrier they had. And that wasn't very much used during the war, but it was more or less something they kind of ventured into. And personally, guys, about the Bismarck, I think she was sunk before her time. But Winston Churchill made quite certain that at the sinking of the Hood, he made sure that he made a veil for every English ship to go to sail. He didn't care how it was done, sank her. And the Royal Navy did. And the Royal Navy was very humane, and so were the Germans. When she was sunk, it was a very humane thing they did, you know, when they picked up survivors. And they were very humane to them, and a lot of them were dead when they came aboard the ship, and they had ship services and burial at sea. And there was a lot of emotion between the English sailors and the German sailors. And the German sailors of the Kriegsmarine seen it. And they said these two, they know the English were very humane. And they didn't like the crummy war any more than we did. And they all know that Adolf Hitler was a madman. And Admiral Lutyens was the brass. He was the fleet commander aboard the Bismarck. He pushed Captain Zimmerman to the limit. He was seen on the bridge, on the navigation bridge, plenty of times. Those guys were arguing, yelling at each other and stuff. And so Admiral Lutyens is actually the finger that sunk the Bismarck from complacency. He got a little overzealous in what he was doing. And during the land of the attack, that he was notified by messenger that the Luftwaffe and U-boats were out there to give him a hand. They gave him back one place, but it never arisen, like Hitler was good for, and like our beloved President of the United States that we have right now is a liar. And so, that's that, folks. Anyway, after she was sunk by the Dorsetshire and scuttled, she sunk in the North Sea, over 17,000 feet of water. She was discovered back in 1985 by the Woods Hole team, sponsored and directed by Professor now, Dr. Robert Ballard, who's taken over the Titanic. And the submersibles he had today was not very much up to par compared to what we have nowadays. Now, James Cameron, the producer and the maker of the Titanic movie back in 1998, he ventured in making a complete survey of the vessel. And he did a very, very wonderful job at it. So it makes some good viewing too, fellas. So this is the mighty Bismarck. And there's a beautiful song back in 1960 by Johnny Horton. It's called Sink to Bismarck. And a beautiful ship she is, fellas. Oh, right here, I've got to mention to you guys right here, since I see it. These right here are pedestals. They're screwed in from the inside of the hull out. Also, this kit comes with a motor. Yeah, it comes with a motor, fellas. And also a 1x2 ratio gearbox that operates 2 screws counterclockwise from each other. Run through one motor to a gearbox. And so this makes a good rear control project too, but I wouldn't want to put it in anything over 12 inches of water, because this thing ain't designed to go out in something 50 feet deep, you know, like where I take my stuff at. And it'll be swamped by water and should go down. So these more or less pool sailors. Good for swimming pools or out in a little pond somewhere where you can walk out and pick it up. But I know I had fun with this thing if I was a little boy, like me and my brother used to. We used to have these old Lindbergh kits we used to mess around with. They had motors in them, and he'd get one side of the pond, I got the other side of the pond, and we sail the thing back and forth. Boy, did we go through some batteries. And eventually we burnt out the motor. Okay, guys, we're going to swing the camera right down to yours truly. I'll discuss what's on the board next and tell you what's going on, and that'll be that. Okay, guys, here I am. That completes finishing up the Bismarck. And I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I know I enjoy it too as well. Next video tomorrow is going to be the final reveal for the Grumman Gopak. And right after that is going to be another video of the Battleship California during her painting session. Won't take long to finish up my California. I should have my California done by Tuesday. I should have it finished so I can jump on something else and finish up something else I had started. So I've got a few here I need to get started, guys. And I need to get the USS Drum. Need to get her painted. She's all done, ready to be painted. And Captain Raphael Sams on the CSS Alabama. Oh boy, he's mad at me not getting him done, so I'm going to jump on the Alabama this week too. We're supposed to get about 3 inches of snow headed this way, and it's about time. And so that'll give me a good Alabama day right there. Okay, guys, this is Frankie Day signing off. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. May God bless and happy modeling. Thank you very much for your guys' wonderful comments and views of my build. I'm very honored. I'm now officially retired. And my job of choice is work on these models. And so I'll keep you guys busy. And I know I'll be busy. So, once again, Frank, excuse me guys, I ain't talking to myself. Signing off again, boys. Catch you guys later. Catch you guys tomorrow for the final reveal of the Grumman Gopak. So stay tuned for that. This is Frankie Day signing off, and God bless. Bye, boys, and make mama happy.